E syllable pattern. All right, so we're going to do a little bit more of that today. So the first thing we're going to do is we need to remember when we see L-E, how do we read that?
Lee.
Not Lee. At the end of a word. Can we say O?
Wait, can I see that?
O. Say O.
Oh.
O. Say O.
Oh.
O. So when we are adding a consonant in front of it, we just need to say the consonant and then add the O to it. Okay? For example, this consonant right here is what letter?
T.
T. And what sound does T say? So if we have our T and then we put it with O, what's that say?
Tool.
Tool. Tool. Not tool. Tool. Okay, everybody say tool.
Tool.
Good. So this consonant is P, and that says, and then we put it with O, and we have pull. Pull. All right. The next one is a Emma. B. And what does B say? B. If we put it with O, we have bull. Okay. And then the last one is a D. And what does D say, Max?
D.
Max. D. If we put it with O, it says dull. Okay, so we're going to read some of those. They're not real words. They're just parts of words. Okay? So we're going to read these together. So put your finger on the first one, and that's T-L-E. So how would we say that, everyone?
Tool.
All right, next one.
Pull.
Next one.
Tool.
Next.
Pull.
Next.
Pull.
Next.
Pull.
Good.
Pull.
Next.
Tool.
Dull. It's a D, so it says
D.
dull says dull. Okay. Snuggle. Branson, is it the beginning, the middle, or the end? It's at the end. Good. Emma, your word is bundle. Is it at the beginning, the middle, or the end? It's at the end. Good. So I'm going to give you guys some parts of words, and some of them have the consonant LE pattern, and some of them don't. So what I want you to do is sort the words that have consonant LE, not the words, excuse me, the word parts that have consonant LE and the word parts that don't. We're going to make 2 piles each. Okay? So for example, if I have S-P-A-R, does that have our consonant LE in it? No, so that goes into the no pile. And then that goes into the yes pile. N-E-E, how do we read that? Knee, okay? So now we have to find the ending. He might need help, so pay attention. Everybody find your knee. Your knee. So if we put it with these consonant LE patterns, we have to see which one will make a word. So this says, what's that say? Pull. So does that make sense? Neeple?
No.
No.
Needle.
That's a word. You got it. So he has needle as his word. So everybody find needle. What's the first syllable? Second syllable?
Tool.
Put it together.
Turtle.
Wonderful. She found the word turtle. Isla, can you give me a time check, please?
That was the second one.
Okay.
Oh, we got one.
All right. I want you to write the word gargle. Gargle. We need to find where to put that syllable line. Consonant LE, start at the E and count back 3. So everybody find the E. We're not doing fancy letters. Find the E and then count back 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wait, that's the R?
Count the E. Ready? 1, 2, 3. So if you count back 3, 1, 2, 3, you will find the beginning of that consonant LE pattern. Do you see it? Count back 3.
1, 2, 3.
Your line goes.
At the R and the G.
Put it there. Good. Count back 3. 1, 2, 3. That's the beginning of that syllable. Put your line right there. Now point to the second syllable. Read it. Point to the first syllable. Second syllable. And read the whole word. Good. Erase. We're going to do one more before we move on. This paper is going in your yellow folder. When you get extra time, you're going to go through the passage and find these consonant LE words and highlight them. Okay? And then you're going to bring this tomorrow when we meet. Got it? So what are you highlighting, Max? These are not all consonant LE words. You need to find the ones that are consonant LE. Do you understand? When are you bringing it back?
Tomorrow at center.
Tomorrow at centers. All right, you can go ahead, put that in your yellow folder. The first small group that you observed, those students were placed there based on their needs they needed intervention in phonics. And then a couple in fluency as well, which we could put them together. So based on their data that I got from the beginning of the year, as well as their classroom performance, I have that decision tree that I go down, and they all landed in the needs remediation in phonics and fluency. So that's why they are in that group. I did teach it as I planned. I did not get through as much as I was planning, but that happened. So typically if that does happen, if I don't get through everything that I planned, it's fluid, so it'll go into the next day. With that first group, there were no big changes in what I thought that they were going to be able to do, so I was able to stick to the plan for the most part. Well, it depends on where they struggle, but if I have them and remind them that each syllable has to have a vowel in it, remind them of where we need to put those syllable breaks, that was able to help those students. So if they are able to carry it over into our classroom activities, then I know that they're getting it. If they get it when they're with me, that's one thing, but I need to see them that they're understanding how to do it within the context of independent work time as well. During stations, I differentiated with that first group, I instead of writing the sounds they heard, they copied the 2-syllable words, and then from there they were able to find where that syllable break was. The other groups, I gave them the sounds, the phonemes, and they wrote those down on their own without copying the spelling of the words. So I gave them one syllable at a time. They were able to sound those syllables out and write those, and then they did not have to copy the words. At the end of the lesson, I gave most of the groups a sheet for them to work on independently. So that sheet was a passage that had several of the consonant LE words within it. My hopes were to be able to do that together as a group, but since we ran out of time, I gave it to them with the instructions to highlight the consonant LE words, and then tomorrow when they come to me, they will be ready to do that. The yellow folder that I had them put it in, that's their catch-up folder. So anytime that they have free time throughout the day, or if we have catch-up folder time, that's when they will work on that assignment. My plan for instruction for the first small group is to go over that sheet that I gave them to see if they were able to identify all of the words that had the consonant LE spelling. Then we will practice reading those words together. Eventually, I would like to get them to the point where, like the other groups, I sound out the phonemes and they write them down without copying the words that we're focusing on. So that's where we'll go next meeting.